Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Thomas, and today I've got a 2023 Tesla Model Y. This is the dual motor one, which is exciting. I'm right new into the Tesla world. Don't know too much about the car. Picked up the car 2 days ago. I've driven from Glasgow to Manchester and back in like a 14 hour.
500 feet, turn right onto Men's Road.
Thank you, Satnav. Yeah, drove from Glasgow to Manchester and back within basically a 14-hour period. So I'm well versed with charging so far.
Right onto Men's Road.
And we're going to crack on with this video without getting interrupted too much. So off the bat, Teslas are a fully electric automobile company based out of California, for anybody who's unaware. They're quite popular. The gadgets in this car are pretty incredible. I've enjoyed driving this from Glasgow to Manchester and back. I've done a long jaunt within like a 14-hour period there and back, so I'm quite familiar with the car, motorway speeds, kind of the safety tech it offers, like the adaptive kind of cruise control, keep me in the lane, auto steer, all those kind of things that make life a little bit easier. However, I will caveat and say the charging straight off the bat is less than ideal, because it's probably added close to 3 hours, if not 3 hours, to my trip within a 14-hour period. And actually I'm onto my 6th charger in 3 days right now as I record this, so yeah, it's been pretty good, I guess, getting full EV experience, because my only other EV experience so far has been like for a day and not really getting to use it out of the city. I've had this literally from 2 major cities in the UK, and we're just gonna pop by. I do like the instant torque. You put the foot down like all electric cars and you get thrown back into your seat, which is pretty cool. Not many vehicles do that. You do miss, or I do miss, an exhaust sound, like especially something like the BMW M5. You feel half the drama is that sound, whereas this just throws you back and you're doing 30 within like 2 seconds. It's really quick. Handling wise, the car's okay. I wasn't sure what I was expecting from Tesla, because I've got it in sports steering in, is it standard mode for the pedal feel? There's chill mode for acceleration, which I thought might be less enthusiastic for a car channel, so I kept it on a slightly different mode there. But floor it down, and 60. Yeah, it's quite exhilarating, and I think when I've shown friends this as well, putting the foot down, yeah, it's really fun. So on the right hand side of the steering wheel we have a gear selector, which is very kind of Mercedes-esque in terms of the style. Either that, or you think of an old school American pickup truck, just right down in the column shifter, all the way down for D for drive, hit it down again for cruise control, double tap it and you get this auto steer coming up, and it comes up on the main screen in the middle. As long as you've got your hands on the steering wheel, that should do most of the heavy lifting with regards to kind of steering. I have found it's very good on motorways and when the lines are clear. So if it's daylight and we've got motorway lines are well painted, fantastic. When it's dark and you're on city streets and it's a little bit, yeah, there's not many defined lines, you've got potholes and yeah, it struggles to read it and it kind of pulls you around a little bit. So I wouldn't recommend using it on city streets or unlined roads, really. That is fabulous. I've also got it on this rainbow setting, which is really colourful and fun. Part of this car's got so many gimmicks, which I'll talk about when we get through the video. But yeah, for day-to-day driving, the Tesla's great. It even brings you to a stop and accelerates as well. I don't know if that's this particular dual motor version versus a standard one, but like there's a car in front of me approaching a roundabout. This is where do we trust it to slow down? Yet we're braking, we're slowly braking. We're slowly braking, come on. There we go. And the acceleration's there. Sorry, the deceleration even. Now we're moving off. Come on. And this is all happening live without me putting the foot in the gas. And that's what brought us down to like really 7 miles per hour at a roundabout, and we're now accelerating back up to the national speed limit as we come off this motorway, off this roundabout, sorry. There we go. Really clever system. I quite like it. Yeah, I think Tesla's thought of quite a few everyday things to make life a little bit easier. And we'll get into some of the cons later on in this video, but as a rental car, and just got kind of given the keys, showing the basic controls. Things like your wipers and lights are all done through the screen, which every time I was on the motorway lights, they're on auto, but if you ever get that drizzle on the windscreen, you just want to kind of squish it away, or like wipe it away, just a quick clear. There is a button on the left hand side of the indicator stalk that sprays it, but I felt like I was wasting the spray all the time. So yeah, you have to go through the screen to kind of adjust if you want auto, if you want slow, fast, or medium settings. Not the most intuitive straight off the bat, especially getting out a rental car or into a rental car. I do quite like this glass panel above me. I will caveat and say, when I was in Manchester and it was rain, surprise surprise, the heavy rain was bouncing off that glass and it was just quite deafening, very loud. And when I was trying to make a phone call, that's all you could hear, or the other end of the person on the other end of the line could hear, was this heavy rain battering off the glass. So that was a little bit unusual. But yeah, I think if you had some sort of blind that could go across or something just to help absorb the sound, would be great. So some other electric car general perks is being an electric platform as well. It's been designed to be an electric car from the ground up, so there's loads of storage in this car. The cubby holes up front are ginormous. We've even got a fruit, as we'd probably call it in the UK. We've got a boot in the rear, a front boot. Yeah, front if you're in America, but fruit I guess if you're in the UK. It's pretty decent size. It does seem to be weatherproof. I've had a wee feel in there and I've driven through the rain for 3 days now and I've not had any drama. Not put anything in there, but I can't see it being wet, so I presume that's sealed, so if you put your luggage or something there, it'll be fine. Completely flat floor in the rear, so that's going to be ideal for 3 adults. And even more rear kind of comforts, we've got heated seats in the rear for every seat, so not just the 2 outer seats, but the middle seat. And I'll say even the Jaguar XJ, that's got rear seats that are heated, but not the middle one. So that's quite a neat feature. You can have all 3 seats in the rear heated, so if you've got 3 adults, 3 whoever it may be, 3 people, they can all be in comfort at various stages of heating. So probably, as you can tell with all my mention of the bad weather, I've not had a chance to even attempt a 0 to 60 on this because it's just been raining and damp and it's just going to be too dangerous. But it does feel pretty brisk and pretty fast, so I will give it that. And handling wise, it's not let me feel at all stuck with the torrential downpour rains that I've been driving through. Even when visibility's been low, the cameras have done great, and yeah, that's been great. And speaking of cameras, there's cameras everywhere. Front, rear, side, even inside the car there's a camera. When you indicate, the B pillars come up on the middle of the screen, so the right hand side of this big massive screen in here, to show you what's kind of in your blind spot. So it's really handy if you're on the motorway and there's maybe a truck or whatever it may be. You can see in your mirror, but if you have a quick look at the glance there, it takes you 2 seconds, especially on the opposite side of the car, looking left, and a car I'm not familiar with, you tap that there, and I can see out the side of the car quite quickly. So that's quite a clever feature. The key for the car is this little card, which is like a credit card sized bit of material. You just tap it on the B pillar. I like the concept of it because you've not got a big clunky key to carry. However, I will say when I had my suitcase pouring with rain, trying to get into the car, there's no unlock button on it. Like, I miss just having an unlock button. And equally, trying to get into the boot, you need to, like, as far as I'm aware, I couldn't just pull the boot. I had to like untap it on the door there to unlock it, pull the car open, tap boot release on the big screen, and then put the suitcase in. I guess if you had the car as you owned it, you probably have the app, you could precondition it and get the car unlocked with your phone, but this is how I live, or I've been living with it. Charging the car, I don't have a charger at home, so I've been slowly charging this on the superchargers, and it's been pretty expensive. I think it's about £25–26 per time to get to the next charger. So I think to get to Manchester, I charged twice. I charged at Gretna Green and I charged at Preston. So say that's £50, and then on the way back I had to charge 3 times because I never had 30% charge when I was leaving Stockport. I had to go to Trafford Centre, to charge, to get enough charge to get up the road to the next supercharger. Again, the option was I think Preston or Gretna, but I went to Gretna, and then I realised it calculated enough power to get home, but not enough power once I was home to get to another charger. So I had to stop at Abingdon and charge again. So I had 5 charges within a very short period of time, which, as you are aware, it's about half an hour, 45 minutes per charging slot to get about 80% charge. So that's a little bit frustrating, and it's just something you're living with. I said I can't fault Tesla chargers. I will say they went great now, we do need more there because there's 4 Tesla chargers, and when I went they were busy and you have to wait, so it just adds on to your time as well. You're waiting for other people to finish, so then you can go and charge for half an hour or so. And then you're buying stuff as well. I found that you're buying more like junk. Like, I would maybe on a drive like that, you'd stop once for a comfort break and maybe you want to buy a tea or something, which may cost you a couple of £. Because you're stopping, well, that's 5 times I've had to stop, I'm at least buying a hot drink, and twice I've bought a meal out of one of the vendors there. So yeah, it's a catch 22. I don't know, it's costing you £25 per time really to charge, and on top of that you're spending extra money. So something to think about going forward if you're doing a long trip. So really my only gripe with the car is to do with the charging, and that's not down to this exact Tesla, that's just infrastructure, charging capability. It's great, but my first-hand experience of having the first time using this, it's frustratingly long, versus I could fill the car up in Glasgow, get to Manchester in one tank, and then put a little bit more petrol in the car there, and then come back, and it would have taken 2.5 hours, 3 hours off a very, an 8-hour trip. This became almost 12 hours, so 11.5 hours, so yeah, it adds up quickly. So my concluding thoughts on the Tesla Model Y, I've had it for 3 days now. I've driven, I don't know, it's 500 odd miles, 600 miles, and it's been a decent vehicle for the job. I'm trying to navigate East Kilbride roundabout. I like the technology in it for sure, that's a big plus, and I think probably my demographic is where this car's aimed at. I showed my dad it, and he just got in and was like, yeah, not loving it. So I think there's going to be a demographic learning curve for sure for the big infotainment screen. But I do like the safety tech and all the gadgets. Longevity of that, after 3 years or 4 years when you're out of warranty, maintaining things like that, especially if that big screen's controlling everything, it's maybe going to be a risk. But I do like how the car feels. This car I think is about £59,000 in the UK, maybe a little bit more. If you went to buy one today, but I think it's about 59. And it's alright, like it feels okay overall material wise. It's not terrible build quality. I think from what I've seen online I was half expecting it to be like a 2004 Kia or something, I don't know from negative bits, but there is cheap plastics everywhere. But yeah, I think you're paying for that technology, you're paying for the advanced batteries, the range. I could only imagine how often I'd be charging if I was in like a more normal EV, but maybe I had 100 odd miles of range. This definitely being comfortably over 200 miles is decent for the range. And there's so many fun nukes and fun software bits in this that are gimmicks for sure. Like there's the fart thing, the indicator, showing my pals last night, you turn on the indicators, you can fart, you push the horn and it plays like DJ music, it's got really random bits, and then we came across the button for the light strobe that I will be honest I forgot about. I remember the Tesla X having that, and you watched that 5 years ago and forget about it, so the Tesla Y does it. Not as exciting because the doors don't go up, but it still projects Tesla onto buildings. So if you do have a Tesla and you try it, make sure you project it onto a solid wall, because then you can see it saying Tesla on the wall, which is just such a cool kind of gimmicky software bit. There's a fire, there's games, there's Netflix, all these things as well. I guess if you were bored charging, you could do as well to kind of keep entertained. So final pros are space, charging network, kind of brand image of it, and overall it's a decent kind of family car. They don't sit as high as an X3 or those kind of Q5 sized vehicles. They sit kind of quasi height because they get dwarfed by like Discovery Sports with regards to ride heights. It kind of maybe feels like something like the height of a cash guy sitting driving it, even though you've got all this room above you. Very airy feeling. And I said, the only downside I felt is the learning curve, because everything's through the screen, and the charging, just because I had to do a long drive, and yeah, it just added hours to my life, which won't get back. But as always, I just want to say thanks very much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Ciao.